Guys, please confirm to me. All of you are getting my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you are getting my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you are getting my voice on screen. Right. Good afternoon, guys. Right, sir. And check it what we completed there in the last session. So I think so we are discussing about the differences between Java and others. The topic here we are discussing there. Yes, sir. Can I start now? I think people are busy with some discussions. Fine. Okay. And again, I'm requesting to everybody. So everyday classroom notes is available in this particular URL. If any of you are not having this URL, now try to take this URL. Through this only we can see everyday classroom notes. But temporarily I created this URL, temporary document I'm giving there. Maybe when I'm going to start object orientation, oops, there I'm going to provide the permanent URL to you. There you can see the total classroom notes. Okay, all right, sir. So this is the URL. There we are able to see the total document at present. Fine. Right, now let's see this the content here what we completed there. Almost all differences between Java and others, almost all 6 differences here we completed. Nearly 3 more differences here we have to complete. By this we are able to finish this particular topic. Okay, all right. And before this I'm giving clarity. Today anyway I'm going to complete this topic there. Then tomorrow is a small excuse from your side. Tomorrow I may not go for class for you, and day after tomorrow I'll continue the new topic. Okay, so tomorrow no need to come for the classes there. Those are attending at present. Why? Because a set of new members are coming. For them I'm taking some demo class. Because of demo class only, not for any my personal reason. Right, demo class point of view I'm giving some gap to you, but later on I will cover definitely the tomorrow day also. The content I will cover that on Saturday or maybe on some other day. I'll take some extra, then I'm able to finish your content. No need to think about it. Some new members will come as a new topic actually. So this kind of gaps will come for us. Maybe uh, depends on the situation. This type of gaps we are able to have. But anyway, then tomorrow no need to come for the class. Tomorrow still, if any of you wants to know the very first class, just orientation class, not any technical content, just orientation class. If you want to attend, then we can come in. Then I don't have any problem for it. But it's totally a demo class, that's it. Then what advantages we are able to get by taking Java, or how the feature is going to be happen, what is the meaning of full stack Java, what is the meaning of like what courses are available inside the full stack Java. This kind of discussion I'm going to provide on the tomorrow for new members. But better not to come for class on tomorrow, otherwise maybe you may miss the continuity part. Then day after tomorrow onwards I'll continue the remaining content. Right, tomorrow is excuse, just try to practice, try to read whatever the content we discussed up to now. Right, when I'm going to complete the total introduction topic, there we are going to conduct one exam, one written test. There we have to appear for the exam. So every day try to spend some time, some amount of time for this now. Today also when I complete these topics there, which topics there, the total differences between Java and others, we are able to finish our today's session also even. Right, all right, sir. Let's have some discussion over the previous class content what we completed there. I think so we are discussing about we had some discussion on operator overloading is not possible in Java. Then I given some information right from, if any programming language represents data in the form of objects as per the object oriented features, then that programming language is object oriented programming language. How many number of object-oriented features are available? 7 number of features. What are the 7 number of features now? Class, object, encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism, then message passing. Then polymorphism, we have taken the part here. Polymorphism is a Greek word where poly means many and morphism means structures. If one thing is available more than one form or structure, then it is called polymorphism. There are two types of polymorphisms. One is static polymorphism, another one is dynamic polymorphism. What is the static polymorphism actually? If the polymorphism is exhibited at a compilation time, then that polymorphism is called static polymorphism. Observe carefully. Overloading is an example for static polymorphism. Then what is this dynamic polymorphism? If the polymorphism is exhibited at a runtime, then that polymorphism is called dynamic polymorphism. Overriding is an example for what there? Dynamic polymorphism. How many types of overloadings are available? Two types of overloadings. What are the two types now? Method overloading, operator overloading. What is this method overloading? If we declare more than one method with the same name with a different parameter list, then it is what there? Method overloading. Java does support method overloading, where some example I've given there. Class employee, generate salary is a method, and here also we generate salary is a method. Both the methods are very same, but the parameter list is different. So this representation is called method overloading. Operator overloading. These are required points here. If we have a single operator with more than one functionality, more than one operation, then that operator is called overloaded operator, and that process is called what there? Operator overloading. Alright, sir. Example I have given there. Here, plus operator we have used for what there? Arithmetic. Here, plus operator we have used for what there? String concatenation. Operator is same, plus, but it should have two different functionalities. At one time we performed arithmetic addition. At another time we performed what there? String concatenation. So plus is what there? Overloaded operator. Java does not support operator overloading. Why? Because it is a rarely used feature in the application development. It's a confusion oriented feature when we use more operators with more functionalities. As per the Java internal requirement, Java made some of the predefined operators like I'm telling there, plus comma, then what next one here, star comma, next one is what there, percentage comma, and so on, as overloaded operators. Some of the predefined operators as what there, overloaded operators with the fixed functionalities, but Java does not provide any environment to do operator overloading explicitly at a developer's level. These are the various points we understood clearly in the last class now. Then next up, another topic here we have to understand now. Another topic is like what there. Observe carefully. Destructors are required in C++, but destructors are not required in Java. Already in the last class I given some description here. Now try to understand this clearly what I am telling now. Destructors are required in C++, but destructors are not required in Java. What exactly the meaning of this particular point? Now let's see this point here. In general, guys, observe carefully. In general, in object-oriented programming languages, it is a convention to represent data in the form of objects. Yes, am I right? Try to understand this point, what I am telling to you. In general, in object-oriented programming languages, what is convention now? Representing data in the form of objects is what there is a convention. As clear up to this point here, all of you know? All right. Then the point is what there? To represent data in the form of objects, first we have to create objects. At the end of, at least at the end of the program, or maybe in the middle of the program, depends on our requirement. At least at the end of the program, execution, we have to destroy objects. Miss, all of you are getting clarity up to this point here? Right, sir. In general, in object-oriented programming languages, it is a convention to represent data in the form of objects. To represent data in the form of objects, we have to create objects. At least at the end of the program, we have to destroy the objects. We have to destroy the objects. Yes, sir. All of you are getting it or not? That means what I am telling there, as you want to represent data in the form of objects, then you should take the responsibility of creating objects and destroying the objects. At what time we are going to create the objects now? At starting point of the program. At what time we are going to destroy the objects now? At the end of the program, we are going to destroy the object. This is a convention actually. All right. Now observe carefully, but how we are going to create the objects and destroy the objects? If this point is coming there, answer is very clear. Try to understand it now. In object oriented, everybody understand it, in object oriented programming languages, to create objects we will use what we will use, sir? Constructors. In object oriented programming languages, to create objects, what we will use there? Constructors. It is a separate feature. Of course, in the case of C++, it is available. In the case of Java also, constructors are available. Everywhere, in every object-oriented programming language, to create objects, we are going to use what there? Constructors. In object-oriented programming languages, to create objects, we will use constructors. Observe carefully. Next one is to destroy objects. In the same object-oriented programming languages, to destroy objects, we will use what feature here now? Destructors. Right, sir? To create objects, we will use constructors. To destroy objects, we will use what there? Destructors. That's clear? All of you are getting clarity on this points now? That's okay, fine. Let's understand this here. Another point here. After completion of this, now coming to the programming languages in C++, in C++, in C++, what's the point I'm telling there? In C++, developers must take explicit responsibility to create the objects, and to destroy the objects. To create the objects and to destroy the objects. That is the responsibility of the developers in the case of what there? C++. In C++, developers must take explicit responsibility to create the objects and to destroy the objects. So due to this reason, destructors are mandatory. Destructors are mandatory in a C++. Due to this reason, what are mandatory in C++? No, destructors are mandatory to destroy the objects. Destructors are mandatory to use to destroy the objects in C++ applications. This is mandatory point here. All right, sir. Next one is what there? After this, another point here I'm telling there about the Java. Now try to understand it. What is the point in Java? No, in Java, come on guys, you know already the point here. In Java, developers are responsible for creating objects. Responsible for creating objects. Comma. Then what next one here? No, developers are not responsible for destroying objects. Is it? All of you are getting my point here? Developers are responsible for creating objects only. Developers are not responsible for destroying objects. Why? What is the reason here? No, in C++, developers are responsible for both creating objects and destroying objects. But in the case of Java, developers are not responsible for developers are responsible for creating objects only, not responsible for destroying objects. Why? Because in Java, there is an internal tool, there is an inbuilt tool. There is an inbuilt tool. There is an inbuilt tool to destroy objects automatically. Right, sir. In Java, there is an inbuilt tool to destroy objects automatically. automatically called, what is the tool here now? Garbage collector. Garbage collector. Now coming to the conclusion here. In Java, developers are responsible for creating objects. Developers are not responsible for destroying objects. Why? Because in Java, there is an inbuilt tool to destroy objects automatically called garbage collector. Got it or not? Alright. The point is what? Due to the availability of, due to the garbage collector, simply speaking, due to the garbage collector, due to the garbage collector, in Java, developers are not destroying objects, not destroying objects due to the garbage collector. In Java applications, developers are not destroying objects, so developers are not required, not require distractors feature. Distractors, developers are not required distractors, developers do not require distractors function. That's it. This is a reason why distractors are not required in the case of Java. Right, so developers do not require distractors in Java. That's it. That point here, okay, fine. But I have a question now, but knowledge point of view, I have a question now. What is my question here? In Java, garbage collector is available to destroy the objects. It's okay, it's a very good tool. Definitely some advantage we are able to get. Definitely some burden will be reduced to the developers. Okay, that's okay. Up to that, it's okay, clear. But is it possible for us to destroy the objects as per our own requirement? Garbage collector is a part of the JVM. Garbage collector is what there? Part of the JVM. It is going to destroy the objects as per its implementation. That's okay. But my requirement is what there? I created one object in my Java application. Right away, on movement, I want to destroy the object. Is it possible? Right away, on this moment, I want to destroy the object. Is it possible? If you come for this point, answer is what there? Yes. That means garbage collector can listen even our statements also. Garbage collector can understand even our requirements also. Garbage collector can destroy the objects even as per our requirement also. But we have to give some instruction to the garbage collector. Now I want to destroy this object. Please immediately destroy the object. As garbage collector will listen that, garbage collector will destroy that object. So garbage collector will not work on a single line. Garbage collector will not work on its own line. Garbage collector can listen our commands also. As per our requirement also, garbage collector can destroy the objects. That overall process we will discuss there in garbage collection topic. We have a separate topic there in the future, garbage collection, JVM architecture, garbage collection. There we are going to have separate discussion now. As of now, the point is what there, destructors are not required in Java. Why? Because developers are not destroying the objects in Java. Why? Because in Java, objects are destroyed by an inbuilt tool called as what there, garbage collector. Due to the availability of garbage collector, destructors are not available in Java. But in C++, garbage collector is missing actually. Garbage collector is not available in C++. So in C++, definitely what is required now? Destructors are required. Yes, all of you are getting clarity on these points. Can I move forward? Can I go for next point here? All right, guys. Now let's understand the next one here. Eighth point. Point number 8. Point number 8. All of you observe carefully. Point number 8. What is this eighth point here? C and C++ are following call by value and call by reference parameter passing mechanisms, but Java is following only call by value parameter passing mechanism. Very simple point. No need to think much about this here. I will give clarity on this particular point in a simplified way. This is also one of the difference here we can understand. C and C++ are following call by value and call by reference parameter passing mechanisms, but Java is following only call by value parameter passing mechanism. Right, sir? Understand this clearly, what I am telling you? Before understanding whether call by value and call by reference are followed by C, C++, Java or not, before that, first of all, what is call by value and what is call by reference? First, we have to understand what is call by value and what is call by reference. First, we have to understand that. After that, we will think about them, whether they are followed or not followed, followed by the C, C++, and Java. First, what is this call by value parameter passing mechanism? Simple definitions I required, sir. Then I don't require too much complex differences. No, simple here. What's the meaning of this call by value? No. Listen carefully. I'm providing some point here, some definition. No. In all the programming languages, all the programming languages in the sense like what there, C, C++, Java, any programming language, whatever it may be. In all the programming languages, observe carefully, if we pass primitive data, in very first class I given clarity what is primitive data, but again I'm telling to you, if we pass primitive data, what is this primitive data actually? Byte, short, int, long, float, double, char, boolean. 8 number of primitive data types are available. Come again, what are the 8 number of primitive data types? No, byte, short, int, long, float, double, char, boolean. This is primitive data. If we pass primitive data as parameters to the methods or functions, both are same. If we pass primitive data as a parameters to the methods, then the parameter passing mechanism is called by value parameter passing mechanism. Simple definition. I'm not giving any too much complex point here. If we pass normal data, some 10 value, 20 value, or maybe like what there is single character, maybe true value. If you pass this data as a parameters to the methods, then the parameter passing mechanism is what they call by value parameter passing mechanism. Yes, sir. All of you get my point or not? That's okay. Simple one. But what is the meaning of this call by reference parameter passing mechanism? Any idea? Quite opposite to this point here. What is this point here? Now observe carefully. In any programming language, or else might be in all the programming languages, whatever it may be, in all the programming languages, if we pass, observe carefully here the point now, if we pass address locations as parameters to the methods, previously what there? Primitive data. Previously what is this? No, primitive data as parameters to the methods. But this time it is what there? If we pass, what is this actually? Address locations as parameters to the methods. Address locations, parameters to the methods. Then the parameter passing mechanism is called by reference. Parameter passing mechanism. Sir, all of you get my point or not? Then the parameter passing mechanism is what there? Called by reference parameter passing mechanism. Clear? Simple points. Whenever we are passing address location as a parameter to the method, then the parameter passing mechanism is what there? Called by reference. Whenever we are passing primitive data as a parameters to the methods, then the parameter passing mechanism is what there? Is called by value parameter passing mechanism. That's okay. Basic definitions that I'm giving, Now let's come for our C and C++. Listen carefully. In C and C++ applications, all of you observe carefully. In C and C++ applications, if we pass pointer variables, as parameters to the methods or functions, whatever it may be. In C and C++ applications, if we pass, what is this actually? Pointer variables as parameters to the methods, then the parameter passing mechanism is what they call by reference. Call by reference, parameter passing mechanism. As clear? All of you are getting clarity? In C and C++, if we pass pointer variables as parameters to the methods, then the parameter passing mechanism is called by reference parameter passing mechanism. Why, sir? What is the reason for it now? Any specific reason for it? Now tell me. Yes, we have a reason clearly. What is that reason here? Why? Because in C and C++ applications, pointer variables, in C and C++ applications, pointer variables are able to store address locations directly. In C and C++, pointer variables are able to store what there? Address locations directly. Passing pointer variable as parameter to a method, in the sense passing address location as a parameter to the method. Yes, all of you are getting clarity? Passing pointer variable as parameter to the method, in the sense passing address location as a parameter to the method. Everybody, all of you are getting my point or not? Clearly no. So because of that reason, in C and C++, call by reference is available when we pass pointer variable as parameter to the method. Of course, this call by value is available commonly in every programming language, in all. Why? Because in every programming language, we are going to provide primitive data. It's a frequent requirement. It's a frequently performed operation. Whenever we are calling methods, no, definitely we are going to pass some primitive data as a parameters in every programming language. So the call by value is very much common in all programming languages. But when we come for call by reference, that is specific to the programming languages. In the case of C and C++, pointers feature is available. Pointer variables are existed. When we pass pointer variables as parameter to the methods, then the parameter passing mechanism is called by reference. Why? Because pointer variables are able to store what their address locations. Passing pointer variable as parameter to the method, in the sense passing address locations as parameters to the methods. So, all of you are getting it or not? Right. So now this is one point here we have to understand. But in the case of Java, what's going to be happen here? No, observe carefully. In the case of Java, what exactly the point is going to be happen there? Now observe carefully. In Java applications, even if we pass in C and C++ pointers, in Java, what is the equivalent concept? No, as per our previous discussion, reference variables is a equivalent concept or not? In C and C++, we have pointers, but in Java, what is available? In Java, what is available? Reference variables. That's why what I'm telling here, even if we pass reference variables as a parameters to the methods, even if we pass reference variables as parameters to the methods, then the parameter passing mechanism is not called by reference. Is not called by reference. It is called by value only. Yes, all of you are following my point here. Even if we pass reference variable as parameter to the methods, then the parameter passing mechanism is not called by reference. It is a call by value only. Why, sir? Why? How can you decide this? How can you say like this? What is the reason for it? No. Answer is very clear. In Java, reference variable is not representing any address location. As you've seen in object creation process, I given a little bit flow. There we understood that a reference variable is able to store what value there? Reference values of the object. Reference variable is able to store what value there? Reference value of the object. What is that reference value of the object? Hexadecimal form of hash code. Have you remembered or not? I think already we discussed about this point here previously. I given some diagrammatic representation also. Clearly, when we discussed about pointers and all. Now observe carefully. In this diagram, what I have given there, when an object is created, heap manager will create an unique identity for this object in the form of what there? Hash code. Sir, got or not? In the form of hash code, an object is created. That means object is created. For that, hash code value is created. That is an unique identity. When this hash code value is given to the JVM, JVM is converting this hash code value to its hexadecimal value. JVM is converting this hash code value to what there? Hexadecimal value. Hexadecimal form of hash code is called as what there? A reference value of the object. When a reference value is created, that reference value will be assigned to a variable. That variable is what there? A reference variable. So reference variable contains object reference value. Object reference value is a hexadecimal form of hash code. Object reference value is what there? Hexadecimal form of hash code. Got my point or not? Right, sir. Whenever hash code is created here, that is not representing any address location. It is an integer value provided by heap manager. That's it. It is not representing any address location. Even to create this hash code value, so many algorithms are available. Hashing algorithms are available to create this hash code value. But there we are not going to use what their address location directly. That's my point. So because of that reason, reference variables are not representing address locations in Java. Because of this reason, even if we pass reference variable as a parameter to the any method, as a parameter to any method, there it is not called by value, it is not called by reference parameter passing mechanism. Still it is what they called by value only. Why? Because what is the reason here? Why? Because in Java applications, reference variables are able to store object reference values. Reference variables are able to store object reference values, where object reference value is what? Where object reference value is hexadecimal form of hash code. Where what is this hash code actually? Now tell me. Where hash code is what there? Hash code is an integer value. Is an integer value provided by the heap manager as an unique identity for each and every object. That's it. Because of that reason, in Java, even if we pass reference variable as parameter to the methods, then the parameter passing mechanism is not called by reference. It is what they call by value. Why? Because in Java applications, reference variables are able to store object reference values, where object reference value is a hexadecimal form of hash code, where hash code is an integer value provided by the heap manager as an unique identity for each and every object. Now tell me, in Java, what is available? Call by reference is possible or not possible? Call by reference is possible or not possible? Not possible. Only what is available there? In Java, only call by value is existed. In the case of Java, only what is available there? Call by value is existed. Yes, sir. All of you are getting my points or not clearly? No. That's okay, guys. Now, this is a clear-cut information. We can understand about like what there, call by value and call by reference, the parameter passing mechanisms. Is all of you are following my points now clearly? That's it. Next one. After that, the last difference in the difference between Java and others, as per my plan, last difference is what there? Ninth one. Observe carefully. In the C and C++, integers will take 2 bytes of memory, comma, characters will take 1 byte of memory. But in Java, integers will take 4 bytes of memory. Integers will take 4 bytes of memory, and characters will take 2 bytes of memory. I think there is a chance to ask this question in outside. Interviewers may ask this question there. Even I got this question in my first interview. In my very first interview, I got this question from a company. So when I tried to attend for the companies there, in my very first interview, as a first question, I got this. Of course, unfortunately, I was rejected in that company. No, definitely, yeah. Then you are not recognizing me. To get a job, to get a first job, I faced nearly 14 companies. 14 companies I faced. In the 15th company, I got it. Well, when I was in MTech at JNT University, when I was in MTech, nearly then continuously campus interviews are coming. Companies are coming to JNTU. And JNTU might be then always everybody is going to be selected. All right. Then when I was in MTech, companies are coming to us. The very first company is a TCS. Online test they conducted. Written test is online. I applied for it. I thought of it myself is very good in technology. Myself is very good in technology. Myself is very much in talk to you. Then if any person is going to select in any company in my class, no, myself is the first person. That's my confidence level by the time. I went to the written test. They give in some kind of English coachings and as well as some other technology, other SQL queries or some other things they are given there. But I was not selected there. In the written test itself, I was dropped. Okay, I thought of it maybe TCS is not lucky. Maybe next company is waiting for me. Then definitely I'll select there in that next company. Even all my members are also be saying that intentionally you dropped from TCS, right? Why? Because you don't like to join with the TCS. You are going to be selected. Why? Because my MTech percentage is 87%. Myself is a topper in the class now. So everybody is thinking about me. I'm going to select in very first company. Then everybody is thinking after the TCS, no? Intentionally you dropped this company there and you want to go for some good company. That's why you drop it like that. But I know what is the reality there. Written test is not good. I was not properly, I was not prepared for it. Okay, then people are having hype like that about me, but I know what's going to be happen there. But by the time, what is my status actually? My status is I'm taking gate classes. Gate classes, MTech entrance exam, gate classes in some institute. Even hourly basis, I'm getting very good money also by the time. While doing the MTech, I'm taking gate classes at one side. Other side, I'm taking Java class at Durgasoft. Still, without completing my MTech, I started this Java classes. So it's going on. But so myself, definitely, I'm able to give more confidence to that interview. Not selected. Second company, I think so, Infosys. In Infosys, directly, they conducted some written tests. There they are given some puzzle. They are given some puzzle, then I have to write that code for that puzzle, C code only. Not selected, rejected. Like this. Then gradually, people are reducing some hope on me also. By days goes on, number of companies are coming there. Nearly 14 companies, all topmost companies, 14 companies are rejected me. Maximum out of all the 14 companies, no, I was rejected in written test only. I thought of it, if I go for interview, definitely interviewer may select me. There might be then, before this 14 companies might be last 5 or 6 companies, I changed my strategy. But it was very clear that we are not throwing that written test. We are at written test, we struck at written test. Then what we have to do? Then immediately I called my 3 to 4 members, those who are not selected in that. But meanwhile, what happened there? All BTech students are selecting. Even all my other classmates are selecting. The finally 4 or 5 members are remaining. Then we grouped together. We decided we want to write written test in a combined fashion. Otherwise, they're not selecting, sir. What we have to do? Definitely, we have to go for some logic, right? So then, as per that only we prepared perfectly. I was taken like what their arithmetics and reasoning and English part I have taken. Some other people have taken C and data structures. Some other people have taken what their database queries there. Like these 4 members, we used to sit together only. Okay, fine. Then what happened there? We sat like this. Then whenever we are doing combined work, then in every written test we are selecting. That's it. That's the logic what we applied. Finally, we got selected again. Then after that, what happened there? So after complete, I thought of it. If I go for interview, then definitely interviewer may select me. But there also, what is the situation there? It's not much easy to complete interviews. I prepared. I know something about Java by the time. With Java knowledge, I went to the interviews now. But they're asking questions on C, C++. And some people are asking questions on operating system and some other concepts. Not selected. But 14th company is very good company. I targeted perfectly for that company. That's what their IBM actually. My brother already working in that company. Who is my brother? Do you know about it? Durga sir, right? Yeah, he's already working with IBM. I targeted for that company. I want to go with the company. Why? Because Durga sir already joined with it. Durga sir might be by the time Durga sir is also a fresher. The first year he joined there. Just 1 year is gap between him and myself. Okay, he joined with the company. The same thing I want to join with that company. I targeted for that. Almost all 3 to 4 days gap is there. 3 to 4 days preparation time is available for the IBM. No, so solidly that hard work, complete hard work I done. 3 to 4 days of days and day time and night. Total preparation. You are not recognize it. I think so. One book is there for arithmetics and reasoning. No, R.S. Agarwal, I think so. Right. One book is there. Right. Almost all 15 to 20 times I revise the total book. Yeah. If you give just question number, I can give answers by the time. Now I forgot it. Like that I prepared myself. I targeted like that. So I went to a company, written test as usual, 4 members together, work, finished, written test is completed. I was selected there in a technical round. In technical round, they have asked some questions on database management system, something there. Okay, then I given some answers there. Finally, I got selected in the technical rounds also. Next one, final thing is what their HR. Okay, nice. In HR, what happened there? One person has taken now, then just casually asked to me, what do you know about IBM? Now tell me, IBM India. Now tell me. Straightly I'm giving information there. Already my brother is working with your IBM, so I know everything about IBM. Point number one. Then point number two. It's a overaction actually, but he asked casually the point, but unfortunately I given everything. What I said there, more than that, what I said there, my brother is doing some work at night shifts are going on. The night shifts in the server administration. They used to give one laptop to my brother. They used to give one mobile phone. Then at any time when server problems are coming there, they used to call to my brother, and he's going to handle that issues and all at runtime, right? And even that day and night he has to give support there. Then as usual, what happened there? My brother doing that kind of work. When my brother is wake up and doing some work, no, I also used to wake up there. Why? Because he's talking something with the other people there. I'm getting some disturbance in my sleeping now. That's why I used to wake up there. That overaction kind of statements are given to them. Hey, my brother is doing some night, might be work at night times also. I used to participate in that also. Like that, I said to him. Finally, the result is what there? Rejected. Yeah, really rejected there. Then see, the depression is totally different. The depression is totally different. The pain is totally different. By the time I decided maybe software industry is not at all suitable for me. 14 companies I went there, then all 14 companies are rejected me in the sense. What is the meaning of it? No. Moreover, myself is a class topper. All my other members are selecting there. BTech students are selecting. MCA students are selecting. My classmates are selecting. Non-computer science branch people are selecting. But myself is not selected in the company. Then what is the meaning of it? So hardly, then total disappointment. Just I want to leave this software industry and I want to leave this MTech and all. I want to go to village and I want to go for some my own business, some agricultural kind of things. I have a dream. I want to start one farm business actually. By the time I thought of it, I want to go to home, then I want to do that farm business, dairy milk, dairy farms. But what happened? So with that mode only I'm available. Next day is the HCL Technologies, another company, campus interview. Then I thought of it. I don't want to go for the HCL Technologies. So at my room, then I was there. Then I'm totally depressed. I get this. Then automatically, you know that, right? Only whenever you are in depression, no, complete sleeping only. No activities and nothing else. Just depression mode in a room. All right. Tomorrow morning is what there HCL Technologies. I know that HCL will come there, but I don't want to appear for it. Why? Because again, you may go there. Again, if I was rejected there, maybe situations are totally different. I don't want to go for that company. I want to take some gap there, and I don't like to go for software industry by the time. But unfortunate thing is what there. One of my roommate is there. His name is Habib actually. He's my roommate. He's also my classmate actually. I said to you, 4 to 5 members are not selected in any company. We combinedly some work we are doing now. Then he came to me. He asked to me, now if you are in middle drop, then what about our situation? You have taken our part, English part there, but we don't English. Come and write the written test. Then you can leave from campus there. Okay, because of my remaining 3 to 4 members, I went there. Because of that remaining 3 to 4 members, I went to the college. There might be written test is going on. Then I applied for written test. Observe carefully. Then what happened there? I've written that written test, all combined work only we have done it. Finally, we all 5 to 6 members were selected. Unfortunate thing is, in the previous campuses also, these 4 to 5 members are not selecting in any company. Finally, we are the people. In entire class, we are the people not selected. But we have done some, might be group work. Okay, written test is complete in SCL technologies. Next one, they called for technical round. Then I said to my friend Habib, then my work is completed, just I want to leave from campus there, like that. But he said to me, he requested me, just wait 1 hour of time, even my interview is also be going to be completed there. We will both together will go to our room there. Like this, he said to me. But I thought of him, I selected here, but I don't want to go for interview. But in the last minute, what he requested to me, I'm getting some shivering, I don't want to sit in front of that interviewer. I'm getting some kind of scrading, no? Can you go for interview in place of me? Anyway, we are going to be rejected. We are not going to be selected in this company. Can you go for interview in place of me? They're unfortunate. Fortunately, what happened there? They are not taking any photos of the students. No, just resume only. There in resume, no photos, nothing is there. But I know about everything about that. My friend here, my roommate. He's my roommate, right? So in place of me, I went to the technical round. So they're asking some questions. Anyway, internal I thought of it. Even if we are asking these questions, we used to give answers there, but we are not going to be selected. Results are very clear. Like that, he asked some questions and I'm giving some answers there. When I came out from that technical round, in place of Habib, I went there, I completed interview, then I came out. When I sat there along with my friends now, some other panel member called me, Nagoor is the next person. I thought of it. I think so. My interviews also existed there. Okay. And then people are saying to me, everybody is looking at me only. Go there, please go for it. Forcibly, I went to that. Where I went to like what the technical panel, where interviewer is asking questions on C++, but everywhere I'm giving the answers in Java. C++ is object oriented and Java is also object oriented. He asked questions on C++, but I given answers in Java. Then finally, almost all 20 to 25 minutes of interview was completed there. Directly I've asked to that interview. Sir, almost all 14 interviews, the same situation is going on. Interviewers are asking questions and I'm giving answers for it. But every interviewer was rejected me previously. Sir, just give status of me. I want to leave from college there. I don't want to wait in outside there. He said to me, just wait half an hour time, you will get your result now. No, sir, I don't want to wait up to half an hour of time. Just give that my status to me. I want to leave from campus. Directly I asked to the interview. He said to me, hey, Nagoor, you are not supposed to ask like this. Okay, please sir, no, actually then we are disappointed totally. Today I don't want to come there, but because of my friend force only I came today. If you give status of me, then I want to leave from college there like this now. Then by the time he had a small smile and he said to me, okay, no problem, Nagoor, you are in inside. Like this, I said to me. I know about my result. But my problem is what that is only technical round. One more round is there, HR round. That is actual problem. Okay, as usual, we used to select in technical rounds also in general. Okay, then I came outside, then I wait there. Unfortunate thing is what there, out of 36 members, overall 36 members were selected from technical round for HR round. Out of them, all my 4 or 5 members are not selected there now. All these 4 or 5 members are available for HR round. Okay, I thought of it, definitely 2 to 3 members will be selected, but remaining myself and my happy friend, both will be together. We will be stay there for next interview. We thought of it. So then, what's the time there? The time is what there? Night 11 o'clock. Morning 9 or 10 o'clock. The process was started there in campus. No, night 11 o'clock we stayed there. At night 11 o'clock they are taking HR round. So due to the lack of the time, what that HR person is doing there? 36 members were selected from technical round. For every 5 members, he want to take one time HR round. He want to complete for every 5 members. At a time, 5 members he is taking that HR round. Okay, then first 5 members are my batch only. My 4 or 5 members are remaining there, only my batch only. In the list also, first 5 members are my batch only. Okay, then myself is the second person. Then before me, Habib is the first person. Myself is the second person. Like remaining 3 members. HR interviewer directly asked to Habib, first person there, first question, tell me what is HTML. I thought of it. This question was there for Habib. No, what he has replied, no, hypertext memory language. Are yaar, HR round, final round. What is HTML is a question, but I know the answer. But Habib is giving wrong answer. What I have to do? I'm thinking about it. What question will come for me? What is pointer? What is inheritance? Something else. I'm thinking in my mind. The next option, HR giving a small smile on him. Then again, he recollected, might be this is wrong. No, then he has given next time hypertext mail language. Yeah, I remember strongly. And third attempt, Habib has given answer hypertext markup language. So I thought of it. HR is asking questions are very simple there. Okay, maybe my job may be very simple. Let me check it. Then HR interviewer is asking next question to me. What is the next question there? I'll give you one building. I will show one building. I will give some device. I forgot it. The device actually. You want to give some barometer or something else. You want to give that device there. Can you calculate the height of the building with this particular device? First question is what is HTML? Now this time he's asking building and a barometer. Definitely, God's grace. It's going definitely. The thing is, things are going to be happen. So this is an indication for me not to be selected in this company also. I thought of it. Then finally, what happened? But I don't know. All of a sudden, I got a spark in my mind. What I got the spark, no? Then before 2 to 3 days before, some of my family relatives at my home, they went to Tirupati. Uh, then in the casual conversion, they said to me, "Are at Tirumala? That means bottom place is what there, Tirumala, right? Hill place is what? Tirumala. Hill place is Tirupati. Bottom place is Tirumala. Okay, reverse no. Bottom is Tirupati. Hill place is what the Tirumala. They are given some information at the top of the hill. That environment is very cold, but at bottom that environment is so hot. Like this, they are given some. I remember that. I don't know what is the reason, but then immediately I give an answer for it is no. I can calculate pressure level at the bottom and the top no. Then on the base of that pressure level variation, you can calculate the height of the building. Like this I given, but I don't know whether it is right or wrong. On floor I given some answer there. He has asked some question, I given some reply. I don't know whether it is right or wrong. Okay. Then he has not given any movement on his face, no. Okay. Then he went to the next person. And the next person might be asking some other questions, no. Easiest questions only. Finally, HR round was completed. It's a tension for me. Whether my answer is right or wrong, I don't know. But all members are getting easiest questions. But myself, I'm getting these buildings and barometer and all these kind of questions now. So definitely result is very clear. I said to my friend there, "Arey, just let's go there. Then these questions are asked that HR interviewer, no? Might be he's not having common sense, but we are not having common sense to stay up to night 11 o'clock. Result is very clear. Just I said to him, just he said to me, wait, yeah, they let them to announce the result. No, as usual situation is going to be happen. And then by moving on to the outside of the college, no, we'll have some fun there. If it is a case, if you are not selected, no, in that mood we are. All members HR is completed. Almost are at 11:30, 11:40 like this. They announced the results. In the 11:30 or 11:40, they announced the results. The thing is what there in that results paper, in the notice board, in the results paper, my name is the first name. Even to recognize that point, to feel that point, a minimum half an hour I took the time. Okay, I was selected in a company. My background is SCL Technologies. I'm going to work with SCL Technology. Myself is a software engineer in the future. To get that kind of feel, I took nearly half an hour. Why? Because of this 14 disappointment, 14 interviews. Next name, second name is my friend Habib only. We both together we completed. Out of our 5 members batch, 3 were selected, 2 are not still not selected. I think so by the time. Not selected. They might be waited for some other companies. Understand it? All right. No. Actually, what happened? I think so. They're also be selected, but they went to some other branch, not at the Chennai branch. Actually, they might be selected. They went to some other branch. Actually, the calculation what happened there? Nearly 36 members went for HR round now. Out of these 36 members, one girl was not selected. Yes, my friends are selected, but not in Chennai branch. They went to some other Noida or maybe some other branch. I think so. Yes, exactly. Out of 36 members, 35 members were selected. One girl was not selected. I know that girl, but then she's crying in outside of the room, that HR room. She's crying totally. So getting some kind of pain. Just I went to her. Arey, don't worry. Then you may get next interviews. No, very good companies you are able to get. Don't worry for it. Like this, I given some words to her. I asked her there, casually asked her there, what you are getting coaches in HR round and casual coaches only we are getting there. What she replied? No, she replied to me. Direct question from HR interviewer is what? What do you know about HCL technologies? Oh, okay. What you replied? I asked her. Then she said to me, HCL is not much good company. It's an ordinary company only, but I'm looking for good companies like IBM or like, sorry, not like this. I'm looking for Oracle or Google, this kind of companies. As a trial purpose, I came for this HCL tech, like that I replied. But who will give job to her? I thought of it, right? Punishment was happened here. Huh? So that's why then I think this is useful for you as you are going to attend for interviews now. Always see, don't underestimate interviewer. Interview is definitely more knowledgeable than you. Don't use that Balakrishna dialogues to interview. Think of it. Interviewer is definitely in a position to ask the questions. You are in a position to give answers for that questions. So you should not use any negative vibrations to the interviewer. For example, even if you want to give some experience, interviewer definitely will ask there why you leave from the previous company. Why you left from the previous company? This question will come. By the time you should not say something negative about that company. Convinced reasons we have to provide. Right? She was not selected because of that stupid kind of answers only. Even though your company is a two worst company, then we have to give that convinced reason, that good reasons we have to provide. That will be a good thing. Always we have to provide some positive vibrations about it. Yes, sir? Okay, leave it anyway. So that's the story. What was happened with me in my campus interviews now. But I said this company, this question I got in my first interview in the sense, after completion of my BTech, I attended for one company interview. There I got this question. But whatever the things are happened for me, that they were happened at my university in MTech campus interviews now. But this question I got after completion of my BTech, I went for one company there. There I got this question. This is my first interview question. Right, anyway, we are going to understand it. First of all, tell me what's the point here? What I'm giving there clarity, in a C and a C++, integers will take how many bytes of memory? 2 bytes of memory. Characters will take how much memory there? 1 byte of memory. But in Java, integers will take 4 bytes of memory and characters will take 2 bytes of memory. But first of all, understand this point, all of you. Listen carefully. In C and C++, memory allocation for the primitive data types. All of you are getting my points now? Come on, everybody, recognize my statement. What I'm saying to you, in a C and a C++, memory allocation for the primitive data types is not fixed. Even I given fixed values now, but it is not fixed. In a C and a C++, memory allocation for the primitive data types is not a fixed. It is a variable and it is depending on the operating system which we used. Come again, in C and C++, memory allocation for the primitive data types is not fixed. It is variable and it is dependent on the operating system which we used. By this also can I say C and C++ are platform dependent programming languages? Even with this conclusion also can I conclude C and C++ are platform dependent? Got it or not? All right, sir. That's okay, fine. Leave this part here. But in Java, memory allocation for the primitive data types is a fixed. Memory allocation for the primitive data types is fixed, irrespective of the operating systems which we use. Understand the point now. Now tell me, in this case, with this particular statement, can I say Java is a platform independent programming language? Can I conclude Java is a platform independent programming language? Sir, all of you are getting it or not? All right, sir. Then after that, okay, fine. In C and C++, memory allocation for the primitive data types is not fixed. It's a variable dependent on the operating system which we use. But in the case of Java, memory allocation for the primitive data types is a fixed, irrespective of the operating systems which we use. Let us understand what is that fixed memory. What exactly the fixed memory allocation? Let's understand it now. If we come for these points, all of you observe carefully. Byte is one of the primitive data type. Its memory allocation is like what there? 1 byte. Byte is a data type. Next one is what there? Short. Short data type is available. For short data type, how much memory you know? 2 bytes of memory. For int, how much memory you know? 4 bytes of memory. And for long primitive data type is available, then how much memory it is now? It should be like what there? 8 bytes of memory. 8 bytes of memory. Right, sir. For byte 1 byte, for short 2 bytes, for int 4 bytes, for long 8 bytes. Again here, if you observe this float data type now, float data type is going to take like what there? Here 4 bytes of memory. Double is one of the primitive data type no. Now it will take 8 bytes of memory. For boolean or for character, simply char, for character, how much memory here? We are going to assign there 2 bytes of memory in the case of Java for character. For boolean is one of the data type, primitive data type no. For boolean data type, how much memory here we are going to assign there? Simply 1 bit, not even byte. 1 bit, not even byte. Internal representation is 0 and 1 only. 0 or 1 in the sense only 1 bit. You can understand it clearly. So this is what exactly the memory allocation for the primitive data types in the case of what? Java. Guys, all of you get my point or not? This is memory allocation for the primitive data types in the case of what? There Java. Byte will take 1 byte of memory, short will take 2 bytes, int will take 4 bytes, long will take 8 bytes, float will take 4 bytes, double will take 8 bytes of memory, char will take 2 bytes, and boolean is taking what there? 1 bit. Then immediately we are getting a question. We have a question now. An important interview question. What is that question here? In C and C++, all of you understand this clearly. In C and C++, characters will take 1 byte of memory. But what is the requirement? What is the requirement for Java to assign 2 bytes of memory for characters? Have you understand my question here? In a C and C++, 1 byte of memory is sufficient to store characters data. Then what is the requirement for Java to assign 2 bytes of memory for characters? In a C and C++, characters will take 1 byte of memory. But what is the requirement for Java to assign 2 bytes of memory for characters? Yes, all of you understand this answer here. One of the interview question or try to answer for it. Understand this now. Listen carefully. In a C and C++, all the characters are represented. In a C and C++, all the characters are represented in the form of ASCII values. Yes, sir. All of you get my point or not? In a C and C++, all the characters are represented in the form of what there? ASCII values. ASCII values is one of the standardization to represent character data. Got it or not? In C and C++, all the characters are represented in the form of what there? ASCII values. Where to store ASCII values, 1 byte of memory is sufficient. Where to store ASCII values, 1 byte of memory is sufficient. That's why in C and C++, characters are taking what there? 1 byte of memory. But observe carefully. In Java, all the characters are represented in the form of Unicode values. Is one of the character representation. All of you understand this clearly. ASCII is one of the character representation. Unicode is what there? One of the character representation. In Java, all the characters are represented in the form of what there? Unicode values. Where Unicode values are able to take 2 bytes of memory. Because of this reason, Java required 2 bytes of memory for characters. Come again. In C and C++, all characters are represented in the form of what? ASCII values. To represent any ASCII value, how much memory we require there? 1 byte of memory. Why? Because ASCII values are required 1 byte of memory to store. But in the case of Java, all characters are represented in the form of what? Their Unicode values. To represent Unicode values, how many bytes of memory is required there? 2 bytes of memory. Again, in the future, we are going to see how Unicode values are going to be represented, how to represent Unicode values and how to use them. That I'm going to discuss there in the future. But as of now, at present here, we have to understand Java is using Unicode representations. Unicode values required 2 bytes of memory. That's why Java needs 2 bytes of memory for characters. Sir, all of you are getting clarity or not? Fine. Next one after that. Immediately we are getting one more question, guys. What is our question here? What is Unicode and what is its requirement in Java? What is Unicode and what is its requirement in Java? Everybody, understand my point here. What is Unicode and what is its requirement in Java? All right, I'll give some clarity now. Try to understand it now. Again, everybody, understand my point here. Unicode is one of the character representation. Am I right? Unicode is one of the character representation. Understand it now. It is able to represent. It is able to represent. Understand? Then the point is important. It is able to represent all the alphabet from all the natural languages. It is able to represent all the alphabets from what? All the natural languages. Like what? What are the natural languages? No. English. Then what next one here? Italian, Japanese, of course, Hindi, mandatory. Local languages like what? They Telugu. Sir, am I right or not? Telugu or Kannada or maybe Marathi or maybe other languages, right? The languages which are having something like script, the language which has some script internally, that language is what? Their natural language. So, all of you get my point or not? Right, sir. Unicode is one of the character representations. It's able to represent all the alphabet from all the natural languages like English, Italian, Japanese, Japanese language and Hindi and so on. Right or not? And continuation I'm telling there, observe carefully. And it is able to provide very good internationalization support. And it is able to provide very good internationalization support. And it is able to provide what? Their internationalization support. It is able to provide very good internationalization support. Understand, guys? What's the meaning of this internationalization? That we are going to understand in the next attempt. Yet the point is what? Unicode is one of the character representation. It is able to represent all the alphabet from all the natural languages like English, Italian, Japanese, Hindi, and so on. And it is able to provide very good internationalization support in Java applications. Very good internationalization support in the Java applications. But what is this internationalization? What is the meaning of it? Right. Again, we have a question, interview question. All these are questions only asked in already interviews now. And the question is what? What is internationalization? What is internationalization? Right, sir. Simple example I'm telling to you, try to recognize this. From language to language, country to country, representations are varied. Number representations are varied. Dates representations are varied. Maybe some conventions are represented in a different style. In your understandable language, in your understandable situation, I'm telling you. I think all of you are able to watch cricket matches. All of you are able to watch cricket matches. If you have to the scoreboard, instant scoreboard, if you have to this, not complete scoreboard, then scoreboard if you have to that. If the matches are going on at India and it's a subcontinent, the scoreboard is going to be provided like what they runs / number of wickets. But when the matches are going on in Australia or England or maybe South Africa, there we can see what their wickets slash runs. That variation is available. That is their convention. Now this is our convention. Similarly, if you go for Italy, for example, as per our language now might be here we are able to represent something else. This is a number actually. Here, as per our English, maybe something else here we are able to provide. Here we are going to provide what there, something else like comma here, then comma here. We are able to provide like this comma and dot we are able to provide. But the same thing if you want to represent in Italy, in Italian representation there, in Italy both are reversed. In place of comma, they used to provide what there, dot. But in place of dot, they used to provide comma. This is in Italy representation. Still it is going on. This is Italian representation. Yes, guys, all of you get my point or not? So, okay, fine. The point is what? I want to prepare a project. For my project, customers are available from Italy and as well as from India. Indians representation is different and Italians representation is different. How I'm going to provide both the representations now? Can I prepare a separate project for Indians, other project for what the Italians? Can I prepare like two different projects now? Maybe in the next day, German client will come for me. For Germans are having their own representations. Can I prepare another project for German people? No. Like this, how many projects you are going to prepare? How many languages are available? For all the languages, if you want to provide, how many number of applications we have to prepare? How many projects you are going to prepare? That's not the right solution. But what is the right solution? No, single project you have to prepare, but within that single project, understand from which location the customer is available, provide customer native representations. Understand the customer location, identify the customer native representations, provide the customer native services, native representations to the customer. You should not lose our customer and you should not force the customer to follow these rules and regulations. As you are providing services to the customer, understand the requirement of the customer, provide the services as per the customer flexibility. So all together here what I am telling there, what's the point I am telling there? Observe carefully. Preparing Java applications as per the user's locality. Preparing Java applications as per what their user's locality. In other ways, user local conventions. User local conventions is called internationalization. Is called as what their internationalization. Preparing Java applications as per the user's local conventions is called as what their internationalization. One best example I'm asking to you guys. Now try to answer for it. What is the best example here? Say for example, I want to go with Google search. Observe carefully in the bottom what we are having there. Hindi. If I click on Hindi, what happened there? That entire page will convert it to Hindi or not? If I click on something else, Marathi, here we are able to get the entire thing in Marathi or not? Click on English or not? Click on Telugu or not? Observe carefully. That Google is already implementing this feature or not? Google is providing their services to the local users or not? Say for example, I don't know English. I know only Telugu, for example. I'm telling there. I know Telugu, but I don't know English. Or otherwise, I know Hindi, but I don't know any other language. No. Yes, no problem. Select your option there. Select your option. Then automatically your entire Google is available in the form of like what there. Entire Google is available in the form of what there? In the form of Hindi only. All of you get my point or not? So that means Google is already implementing this particular one. Google is already providing what their services to each and every local user. Are get my point or not? So this is what exactly the meaning of like what their internationalization. This is what exactly the meaning of like what their internationalization support here. So finally the point here what I'm telling there, preparing Java applications as per the user's local conventions is called internationalization. But I'm telling one point here, Java is providing very good internationalization support or service due to Java is providing very good internationalization service due to the Unicode representations, due to the Unicode representations in Java applications. Due to what there? Unicode representations in what there? In Java applications. Because of that Unicode representations only, we are getting very good internationalization support in Java. That's it, guys. Now, these are the various points here we understood clearly. Come again, what exactly the content today I discussed it here. Unfortunately, I given some kind of extra information there, but not like that. But total, what content here we understood in today's class, if you observe this, in a C and a C++, integers will take how much memory there? 2 bytes of memory, and characters will take 1 byte of memory. But in Java, integers will take 4 bytes of memory, and characters will take 2 bytes of memory. Got it or not? That's okay, fine. In a C and a C++, memory allocation for the primitive data types is not fixed. It's a variable. It is depending on what there. It is depending on the operating system which we use. There we can understand C and C++ are what there? Platform dependent. Got it or not? Then another point here, what I've given there. But in Java, memory allocation for the primitive data types is fixed, irrespective of the operating systems which we use. There already given that fixed memory allocations. No, byte will take 1 byte, short will take 2 bytes. Int will take 4 bytes, long will take 8 bytes, float 4 bytes, double 8 bytes, character 2 bytes, and boolean 1 bit. In a C and C++, characters will take 1 byte of memory, but what is the requirement for Java to assign 2 bytes of memory for characters? In a C and C++, all the characters are represented in the form of ASCII values, where to store ASCII values, 1 byte of memory is sufficient. But in Java, all the characters are represented in the form of Unicode values, where Unicode values are able to take 2 bytes of memory to store. Then immediately, what is Unicode and what is its requirement? I'll give you some points here. Unicode is one of the character representation. It's able to represent all the alphabet from all the natural languages like English, Italian, Japanese, Hindi, and so on. And it is able to provide very good internationalization support in application. Then immediately we got a question. What's our question there? What is internationalization? Preparing Java applications as per the user's local conventions is called as what there? Internationalization. Java is providing a very good internationalization support due to the Unicode representations in Java applications. That's it, guys. Now this is the totally differences between Java and other programming languages what we are having there. Okay, fine. Then in the next class I want to take that another new topic here, that will be like what there? Java features. Now from this point onwards we are going to talk about what there? Java, continuously Java. The differences and comparisons and everything are completed there. Continuously we are going to talk about Java, that we are going to understand there, right? And as per my says, then when we are going to have next class now, as I said to you, not on tomorrow just excuse for it. Even I don't like to give gaps for you, but tomorrow then some new members are coming there. For them I'm taking some demo class, that's it, not because of my personal view. Demo class I'm taking there as a very first class. If any of you are interested to come for that very first class, we can come, no problem, but not mandatory. Why? Because not in the continuation of our content here. Just very first class, what is full stack Java, why it is required, this kind of terminology I'm going to provide there for new members completely. Then they will continue along with you from day after tomorrow onwards. I will take backup classes for them. These concepts I will take at 3 o'clock or maybe at some other time. I will take backup classes for them. But continuation of this class, Java features topic, I'm going to take on what day? Day after tomorrow. Day after tomorrow I will take, and anyway Saturday also we are conducting the class there, so that we are able to speed up our content here. Somewhat definitely extra content I will take for you on Saturday or maybe some other day. By that we are able to complete our content, guys. Right? Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot. We'll meet on tomorrow. Sorry, not on tomorrow. Day after tomorrow. Day after tomorrow we'll see the remaining part. Thank you.